Well, Thailand, the land of smiles, has been trying to promote sustainable tourism in recent years, but hold on to your hats, folks, because it's not quite there yet. Yes, indeed, there are plenty of challenges that are preventing Thailand from becoming a fully sustainable tourist model. Let me tell you, there are a plethora of reasons why Thailand is still struggling to get there. For starters, the country is still heavily reliant on the traditional mass tourism model that places immense pressure on local communities and ecosystems. In addition, there is a lack of comprehensive policies and regulations to support sustainable tourism practices and ensure they are implemented effectively. Moreover, inadequate infrastructure and public transportation systems in many areas exacerbate the negative impacts of tourism on the environment. And let's not forget the rampant issue of wildlife exploitation and unethical practices in some tourist attractions that continue to persist in Thailand. But let's delve deeper into these topics, and as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, give us an old share on social media, and if you like listening on a podcast player, links down below in the description. And if you'd like to support the show, there's a buy me a coffee link down below, and you can buy us a coffee and all proceeds go to the Thai Expat Daily Show. Oh boy, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? Environmental degradation in Thailand's tourism industry is a significant issue, and we can't ignore it any longer. The massive influx of tourists have put an enormous strain on the environment in many popular destinations, such as Phuket and Pattaya. And let me tell you, the consequences are not pretty. Water scarcity is a major issue. The high demand for water from tourists, hotels and other tourism-related businesses have depleted water resources in some areas, leading to a negative impact on agriculture and local industries. And don't even get me started on waste management. The increase in tourism has led to an increase in plastic waste generation, and improper disposal can harm the environment, wildlife and marine life. Thailand is one of the world's largest contributors of ocean plastic pollution, and that's not something to be proud of, folks. Air pollution is a significant problem. The increase in the number of vehicles on the roads and the burning of trash in rural areas contribute to air pollution, which can harm both the environment and human health. And let's not forget about the destruction of natural habitats, which can lead to the loss of biodiversity and harm the environment in the long run. It's time for Thailand to take action and address these challenges head on. This means implementing regulations to control the impact of tourism on the environment, investing in waste management systems, and promoting sustainable development practices that prioritize environmental protection. It won't be easy, but we can't keep turning a blind eye to the consequences of our actions. The future of Thailand's tourism industry and the planet as a whole depends on it. Now let's talk about over-tourism in Thailand. It's becoming an increasingly pressing issue in popular tourist destinations like Bangkok, Phuket and Pattaya. When the number of tourists visiting a particular destination becomes excessive, it can have severe negative consequences for both the environment and the local community. One of the most significant impacts of over-tourism is overcrowding. As the number of tourists increase, it puts pressure on local infrastructure, making it difficult for locals and tourists to navigate the area comfortably. This overcrowding can also lead to environmental degradation, damaging natural resources such as coral reefs and forests due to the high volume of visitors. Increased pollution and littering can also occur, adding to the problem. But it's not just the environment that suffers. Over-tourism has a significant impact on the local community. The influx of tourists can lead to higher property and rental prices, forcing locals out of their homes and neighbourhoods. This can lead to a loss of cultural identity and community cohesion. Disrespectful behaviour from tourists, such as ignoring local traditions and cultural practices, can also lead to resentment and a negative impact on the community's quality of life. It's clear that over-tourism is a significant issue in Thailand's tourism industry, and Thailand needs to take steps to address it. This means promoting sustainable tourism practices such as implementing tourism quotas, promoting alternative destinations, and investing in infrastructure and facilities to accommodate the increasing number of visitors sustainably. We cannot continue to ignore the consequences of our actions either. It's time for us, the Thai people, and everybody to take responsibility and prioritise the well-being of both the environment and the local community. Now, the exploitation of local communities in Thailand's tourism industry is a contentious issue that cannot be ignored either. It's been criticised for exploiting local communities by offering low wages and poor working conditions to tourism workers, particularly in the hospitality sector. Many workers are paid below the minimum wage, and the conditions they work under are unacceptable. The lack of opportunities for local businesses to benefit from tourism is another significant issue. Foreign businesses or investors own and operate most tourism operators, such as hotels and tour companies, which means that local businesses are often left out of the industry and miss out on the economic opportunities it offers. The exploitation of local communities can also lead to a negative impact on the community's social fabric, as tourism can sometimes cause increased crime, social unrest, and other negative consequences that can harm the local community's quality of life. In conclusion, it's crucial for the Thai government and the tourism industry to take steps to address these issues and promote sustainable tourism practices that prioritise the welfare of local communities. This may include implementing regulations to ensure fair wages and workers' conditions for tourism workers, promoting the participation of local businesses in the tourism industry, and investing in programs that support the development of these local communities. Now, another issue is sustainable regulations, or rather the lack thereof, which pose a significant challenge for Thailand's tourism industry. While the government has taken steps to promote sustainable tourism practices, there is a lack of regulations and enforcement to ensure tourism operators comply with sustainable practices. The absence of sustainable regulations has dire environmental consequences. It's a slippery slope when tourism operators engage in harmful practices like overdevelopment, pollution, and damage to natural resources like coral reefs and forests. Moreover, a lack of sustainable regulation can negatively affect local communities. Without regulation, tourism operators may exploit and mistreat workers, and benefit from tourism may not be shared fairly across the community. The lack of sustainable regulations can also compromise the long-term sustainability of the industry itself. Without clear guidelines and enforcement, tourism operators may engage in unsustainable practices that harm the industry's reputation and long-term viability. This can lead to a decline in tourism revenue and negatively affect the local economy. To address these challenges, the Thai government and the tourism industry must prioritise developing and implementing sustainable regulations that promote responsible tourism practices. These may include setting limits on tourists in popular destinations, as we've mentioned before, promoting sustainable transport options, investing in renewable energy, and promoting sustainable waste management practices. By prioritising sustainability and responsible tourism practices, Thailand's tourism industry can protect the environment, support these local communities yet again, and ensure the industry's long-term viability. Now, in Thailand's tourism industry, cultural erosion poses a significant threat. With the surge of tourists flocking to Thailand at the moment, there is a looming risk that the country's traditional culture may be eroded or transformed into a commodity for tourism. One of the most pressing concerns related to cultural erosion is the homogenization of culture. As tourism gains popularity, traditional Thai culture is at risk of being packed and sold to tourists, leading to a loss of authenticity and uniqueness. This can also result in a loss of cultural diversity, as traditional cultural practices are replaced by those that are more appealing to tourists. Another concern is the possibility of cultural appropriation. Tourists may engage in disrespectful behaviour by misusing traditional Thai dress or participating in traditional ceremonies without understanding their significance. This can result in a loss of cultural identity and a sense of disrespect among local communities. Cultural erosion can also result in economic harm for local communities, as traditional cultural practices are supplanted by those that are more popular with tourists. There is a danger that local artisans and craftsmen may lose their market. Similarly, as tourism becomes more commercialised, there is a risk that traditional cultural practices may be undervalued and replaced by more commercial viable options. Now, again, to address these issues, the Thai government and the tourism industry must work together, must prioritise the preservation and promotion of traditional Thai culture. This can involve investing in cultural heritage sites and promoting traditional cultural practices such as music, dance and art. It can also involve designing programs that educate tourists on Thai culture and encourage responsible tourism practices that respect and honour local traditions. By prioritising cultural preservation, Thailand's tourism industry can both safeguard and promote the country's distinctive cultural heritage and provide economic opportunities for local communities. So all in all, it's clear that Thailand has made progress towards establishing sustainable tourism. However, the road to a truly sustainable tourism model is fraught with challenges. The country must balance the economic benefits of tourism with environmental and cultural sustainability to ensure a positive impact for both tourists and locals alike. It's crucial that we don't lose sight of the big picture here. While tourism can bring economic prosperity, it can also result in environmental and cultural degradation if not managed carefully. Therefore, it's vital that we prioritize sustainability in our approach to tourism. As Thailand continues to navigate this complex issue, it's important that stakeholders work together to find sustainable solutions that benefit everyone involved. By doing so, we can create a tourism model that not only generates economic growth, but also respects the environment and local culture. But ultimately, with this story or anything else that stood out to you today, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Because yes, this is a news show, but it's also a conversation. Now keep that conversation going. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and do all the good stuff that does help that YouTube algorithm. But ultimately, my name is Kieran Mack. You've been listening to the Thai Expat Daily Show, and we will see you next time.